Okay, great. Could you read this article for me, starting with the title, Tunnel in a KFC Level?
Tunnel in a authorities discovered a drug smuggling tunnel between the USA and Mexico in an abandoned KFC restaurant. The tunnel leads from a house in Mexico to the former fast food restaurant in Arizona. Scott Brown from Homeland Security Department said that criminals smuggled a very significant quantity of hard narcotics across the border. So far, police arrested the restaurant owner after police found packages of Class A drugs in his truck. But the authorities aim to identify everybody involved in the undertaking, as the construction of the tunnel the construction of the tunnel in itself was a crime. Difficult work: smuggle, move something illegally to another country, abandon, no longer used, former, ex, Homeland Security Department, a part of government which makes sure people are safe. Significant, great, narcotic, a drug that people use for pain or dulling sensation. Class A, most dangerous.
Okay.
Undertaking, activity.
Okay, good. There is one word that you pronounced, and it is this word, dulling. Dulling.
Dirty.
And a dull means something that's not strong. It's like a headache. You have a headache, but it's not very strong. It's dull.
Okay.
I will read the article, and then we'll discuss the article. Tunnel in a KFC Level 3. The U.S. federal authorities discovered a drug smuggling tunnel between the USA and Mexico in an abandoned KFC restaurant. The tunnel leads from a house in Mexico to the former fast food restaurant in Arizona. Scott Brown from Homeland Security Department said that criminals smuggled a very significant quantity of hard narcotics across the border. So far, police arrested the restaurant's owner after police found packages of Class A drugs in his truck. But the authorities aim to identify everybody involved in the undertaking, as the construction of the tunnel in itself was a crime. Difficult words: smuggle, move something illegally to another country; abandoned, no longer used; former, ex, Homeland Security Department, a part of government which makes sure people are safe; significant, great, narcotic, a drug that people use for pain or dulling sensation; Class A, most dangerous; undertaking, activity. Okay. Now, as we read this article, I wasn't sure what KFC stood for. Did you know immediately what the KFC stood for?
Did you know immediately what?
KFC stands for. What is the meaning of KFC?
Oh, I know KFC because we have the same kind of shop in France. It's like McDonald's. It's a contestant of McDonald's.
All right, and what does it stand for, KFC?
Stand for.
And what does it represent?
The picture of KFC is a man with glasses and a small bird. For me, every time I see this picture, I think of Lenin when he was young.
Mm-hmm. All right. So when we see the word the letters, the acronym KFC. It merely represents Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I didn't know.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Mhm.
Kentucky
So
Fried Chicken.
we have the colonel who wears a white outfit. Usually when you see it, it's a man in a white outfit.
Your printer doesn't work.
You're not seeing what I typed?
Only the capitals KFC.
Okay. And do you not see the Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Yes, of course. Oh, yes, sorry.
Yeah. So I was just letting you know that Kentucky is K, fried is F, and chicken is C. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's look at this picture for a moment and talk about what we understand based upon what we read and what we see. We know that a tunnel has been created.
Yes.
Okay.
The picture is the enter of the tunnel which rely an ex KFC shop in Arizona to Mexico. And on the picture, I can see a letter to go at the bottom of the tunnel, and I can see, no, I don't know, the letter, no, it's not.
Okay, it's some type of ladder, but the objective of this hole in the ground is to smuggle narcotics across the border. This KFC must be fairly close to Mexico for it to be able to travel from one country to the other with drugs. So the fact that it is a KFC, the main purpose of the building is not to sell the chicken.
Yes, of course.
So the main purpose of the building is for what?
The main purpose of the building is to smuggle drugs from the USA to Mexico.
Do you think that the owner will be able to provide a solid answer as to why the tunnel is there? Do you think he knew the tunnel was there?
Oh, I suppose yes, because it's surely impossible to run or to manage a KFC restaurant without knowing that in the bottom of the house there's a tunnel which is used for transport the drug.
Right. So he will probably be prosecuted, found guilty, and sent to jail. So the type of drugs that he had, what did the article say about the type of drugs?
The article said the type of drug he tried to sell is a very dangerous drug. It's a drug of class A.
It's known as a class A drug.
I suppose it's perhaps heroin or something like that.
I think so. I think it's very strong. Now, how do you feel about this? If you were a customer of KFC, how do you think you might feel if you realized you had been going to KFC for quite some time and now you have learned that it smuggles narcotics?
Oh, I just think that it's an episode, a peculiar episode of the life. The most important thing as a tourist is to eat well in KFC restaurant. The other problem is not mine.
Interesting response. Yes, the most important thing for the consumer is that the quality of the food is there. I wonder, though, if they really concern themselves with cleanliness and following the rules, given that they are smuggling drugs? Do you think that they're really concerned about serving a quality burger, a sanitary burger?
Uh, Perhaps because if they don't want to be suspected by the police,
Mm-hmm.
they need to have a very good restaurant in order to have not claims from customers.
Okay.
So,
And that's a valid point. If they aren't doing things in the organized manner of Kentucky Fried Chicken, it might raise red flags. Then the governmental officials that give ratings to restaurants might come in and fine the tunnel as well. Do you think they operated this tunnel during working hours of McDonald's, of Kentucky Fried Chicken rather, serving food?
oh, sorry, I didn't understand.
Do you think they were doing any illegal operations during the time KFC is normally open to the public?
Oh, I suppose that the smuggler works all the times that the restaurant was open, and after the restaurant was closed, they continue their activities.
Hmm. So if they're doing this, the employees perhaps are also aware that there is a tunnel.
Oh, sure. Yes, sure, surely you're right. Though you suppose that when the KFC was a real restaurant, the smugglers were not here, and you suppose that the smuggler will came here only when the restaurant was closed and they began their new activity.
Hmm.
Yes, you're right.
All right. Given that they may be working when the restaurant is open for normal business hours, if an employee had been released, fired, or even got sick for some reason and not offered an opportunity to come back, the employee may have also notified the police that illegal activity is going on at the KFC. Do you think that that is a possibility?
Oh, yes. You say that if the restaurant at work during the time the smuggler made their business, and
Mm-hmm.
if an employee discovered that there's something illegal,
Mm-hmm.
surely he could have said that to the police. But in my opinion, it would have been very dangerous for him because this kind of smuggler didn't hesitate, I suppose, to kill him.
Mm-hmm. And that's a very valid point and a good reason to keep my mouth closed. All
Yes.
right. I'm going to stop the recording now. And so this article in summary is about a restaurant that has a hidden tunnel where people are smuggling narcotics between the USA and New Mexico. The police actually found some narcotics in the vehicle of perhaps the owner, and that was what tipped them off.
Okay.
All right, so I will stop the recording now.